वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवतेरुत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकीम्। So we will be discussing, basically today we have 3 chapters. Now these 3 chapters cannot be broken, that's the thing that we have to discuss. Chapter of Maharaj Bharat, which we are going to go with the activities of Maharaj Bharat. And Maharaj Bharat leaves the home and Maharaj Bharat assumes the form of a deer. So these are all connected together. So we can't break in between, and some chapters are that way that you can't break in between. So let's get back to the questions then. Mataji has all the information because she's always writing and she has the complete information. This day I realized that. Okay, Maharaj Bharat is a son of Rishabdev. And Rishabdev is who? What type of incarnation? Shaktavesh. Yes. One who has the complete potency of the Supreme Lord. How did Rishabdev depart?
Snake, he was a Ajgar and then fire.
He entered into the fire, forest fire. Now, if somebody says the birth and death is such that even God is subjected to it, how do you refute that argument? You hear that Rishabdev has actually departed. So what is the difference between the birth and death, that living and sometimes people say that कि देखो जन्म मृत्यु ऐसा चीज है जिसको भगवान को भी स्वीकार करना पड़ता है. People go with that. But being a devotee, if Krishna is subjected to birth and death, then how do you overcome birth and death? How? So you have any answers to that? अगर भगवान को भी जन्म मृत्यु से सामना करने पड़ता है, तो फिर जब ये कहा जाता है कि भगवान का भजन करो, क्या होता है? जन्म मृत्यु से परे हो जाओगे, मुक्त हो जाओगे. परंतु यहाँ महाराज ऋषभदेव जंगल में चले गए. भगवान रामचंद्र जी, भगवान कृष्ण, भगवान कहते हैं Bhagavad Gita, what do you find easy in Hindi or English? I want to speak in a language that is understood perfectly. English?
Like you are saying slokas in Hindi, some in Hindi, some in English.
Some Hindi and some English is okay?
Yeah. Wherever it.
So, what Lord Krishna says is, first part, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha त्यक्त देहम पुनर्जन्म नैति माम इति सो अर्जुन. This is janma karma cha me divyam. The activities such as the birth activities and my coming itself is divyam. Divyam means divine and auspicious. Divyam. Evam yo veti tattvataha. It cannot be seen directly, like बोलते हैं कि कभी जो दिखता है वो होता नहीं है, जो होता है वो दिखता नहीं है. About Krishna, what you see is not a fact. What you see about Krishna is not a fact. And what is a fact is not seen yet. And Veti Tattvataha, you can see it the right way. Yes, you can see it. But Tattvataha, you have to look the essence of it whenever you look at it. So, the activities of Maharaj Rishabdev, Lord Ramchandra, we know that Supreme Lord comes in order to establish the religion and to destroy the demons. And when the activity of establishing the religion, satisfying his devotees and destroying the demons takes place, then it is time for Lord to wind up his pastimes. Because the Lord doesn't stay in one place forever. Okay? जैसे असंख्याय ब्रह्मांड होते हैं, there are uncountable ब्रह्मांड. Brahma means the universe, anda means the egg. So it has been said that every planet is shaped like an egg. It's round. Every planet is shaped. Therefore we say Brahmanda. The Brahman, the universe that is shaped like an egg. Did you realize that? That's what it meant?
No.
Yeah. Brahma means the universe, Anda means the egg. Every universe is shaped like an egg. And the modern scientists say the universe is round. We fit with that. And that has already been said millions of years ago. It's just that we realize today, after a million years. So, as I say, Tattvataha you have to understand in essence, because what you see is not the fact that you see. Something is hidden there. So, there are asankhya Brahmand. When they say there are millions of such Brahmand, means the Lord has to go to every Brahmand. Every Brahmand the Lord has to go and enact some types of pastimes. Because every time the Lord comes, what does it do? Just like if Krishna does some chamatkar in your life, what does it do to you? It creates or it makes your faith more stronger. आप समझे ना? It makes your faith stronger in that person. जैसे लोग ज्योतिष के ऊपर इतना भरोसा क्यों करते हैं? अरे ज्योतिष ने बोला था कि तुम्हारा पति को कल के दिन में जुकाम लगेगा और आज लाग ही गया उनको जुकाम. So that becomes a reason of you going to that Jyotish again. So it simply makes your faith strong. So why the Lord comes is so He can make the faith of the devotee strong, then go somewhere else, because there are weak faith somewhere else also. Some other Brahman. So now when it comes, the devotees becomes the cause of devotees, the Lord's coming to this world, and the same devotees become the cause of the Lord's departure also. So who becomes the cause of Lord Krishna's coming? Devotee like Vasudev, Kamsa plays some role, Devaki plays some role, Vasudev plays some role. So the devotees are creating a platform for the Lord to come. Why He should come? Yes? Then they will also create a platform for the devotee Lord to live. So in the case of Lord Krishna, who made that platform? Narad Muni. So Narad Muni said, Bhagavan bahut samay ke liye reh chuke hai. He has been here for too long. So let me create some environment. So there can be a reason for him to go. Yes? The Lord's coming is only to increase our faith on Him, that's all. So when you hear the Lord lifting up a Govardhan hill, then you have this very strong conviction saying that the Lord is source of all devatas, because even Indra honor Him. So this faith becomes strong of Lord Krishna becoming the Ekala Ishwar. That is saying, Krishna Ekala Ishwar or Savritya. Vritya means? Servants. Krishna is the only Ishwar. Everyone else is the servant. So that principle establishes this. So Narad Muni comes down, then he begins to create an environment. He goes to the grandson of Krishna. Then they have an agreement. They say, okay, all of us children together, you know what? There are so many sages in Dwarka right now, and they think they are so big, they are so great, they don't even live. Because when there are Rishi Munis living there, the children can't play too much, isn't it? Like when there is a home program, Prabhuji Maharaj is coming, one room please. You go inside one room, no one comes out. So the children will be desiring that this Prabhuji goes quickly. So I can jump all over the house now. So when the Rishi Munis were there, all in Dwarka, with Krishna, these children were not feeling too much freedom. So they kuch karte hain. So then they said, people say that these are Trikal Drishi. Trikal Drishi means they can see the upcoming future. So let's joke with them today. They say, okay, we'll tie a cloth to your womb, belly, and we'll go to these sages, and we'll ask them, iske pet mein ladki hai, ladka hai? Let's mess around. Okay? But you can't mess around with the devotees. You can play around with the parents, that's a different thing. But when the pure devotees come to your place, they are the subject for delivering you from this material world, not a subject of jokes. You don't make jokes out of devotees. So then Narad Muni, nobody else but Narad Muni. Narad Muni doesn't curse anybody like that. And why would he curse Krishna's grandchildren, isn't it? He says he admires to be. He said, I don't want to leave my post and become anything else. But to become Krishna's family member, I don't even, mind giving up the life of sannyas. That's what he desires to be. You think that he's going to curse a grandchildren of Krishna? But it happens. He had to create an environment for Krishna to live. So he said, yes, from this womb, there will be a certain object coming out which becomes the cause of your own destruction of the family. Okay, finish, Hare Krishna. Easy curse. Then Krishna, he could have counterattacked anything. So they go back to Krishna. Then Krishna, let's go back to Ugrasen. He sends to grandfather again. Whatever Ugrasen says. So Ugrasen says, yes, we have done a big aparadhas. Now we need to go and nullify what we have done. So let's go to the bank of ocean. And we have to do a big yajna to become free from this. You have created offense to the Brahmanas. Then Krishna plays his role. Right there from the ocean, all of the canes come out and they beat each other with that. And they depart. And Krishna departs, although Krishna's departure is also very important to understand. People say Krishna ko baan lag gayi. Krishna had, yeah, people say that. You agree with that? Right, Prabhu?
We just heard.
You heard. But it's difficult to... Sorry?
Arrow.
But, so, the Shastra says Bhagavatam, not heard, Bhagavatam says. It's nice to say, नहीं भागवत से सुना हूँ ये हो सकता है किसी और ने बताया तो कुछ गलत बताया भी होगा. So Bhagavatam says that Krishna, right after the entire destruction of the family, he was sitting down underneath a tree. Then a Veda who used to be Bali in the last life, he actually desired from Ram that I want to be the cause of your death now. That Ram said, my style of going is already been fixed. At the time of Lord Ram, I is already fixed. So I can't give you any promise. But next time when I come as Krishna, that is not being finalized yet, how I'm going to go. So you can be the cause at that time. Unique, something unique that Krishna is doing here. So when you have to understand the activities of Krishna in essence, not just outwardly. Then later on Veda shoots the arrow. He thinks that Krishna is shining like a molten gold. That he thinks that this is a deer. Then he shoots the arrow, it hits the toe nail of Krishna and the arrow drops down. Now, if I say to you that somebody died because some object hit his nail and he died, even in a regular ordinary case, is it possible? Yeah, somebody to say, his head was eaten by a sin or something, that's a different thing. But somebody said something fell in his nail and the object actually bumped out. It did not even go inside the nail, but he died. Even in ordinary case, it is not easy to accept. You think in a case of Krishna, the arrow hits his nail, toe nail, and arrow falls to the ground, Krishna dies? And this is the same ignorant that Jara had. He said, oh, I became the cause of your death. Krishna says, at the time of a war, even the Brahmastras, the greatest weapon, they were touching me, my body, and they were turning into a lotus flower. You think it is possible for me to die with the hit of an arrow? He says, no, it is your desire because you desired. Now, relationship between Krishna and his devotee is, Krishna has a capacity to fulfill any desire that you have. Anything. Somebody says, yes, I want to poison you. Putana. Putana used to be who? The daughter of Bali Maharaj. When Bamandev, he put his feet into the head of Bali Maharaj and sent him down to Sutal, to lower planetary system. His daughter did not like it. See, क्या सोचता है आपने आपको? इतना बड़े सम्राट राजा है, उनको एक लात मार दिया और सुतल में भेज दिया. बोला कि अब बच्चे थे, ठीक है, तब तो छोटे बच्चे थे भगवान. तो बोले अगर ये मेरा बेटा होकर के जन्म लेता तो इसको स्तन से आया हुआ दूध पिला करके मारूंगी. I would have killed him by feeding a poison coming out of my breast. But she said, I would put some poison in my breast and I would feed this boy little. Because one side the Lord was so beautiful. इतना सुंदर थे, उनको बेटा बनाने का मन कर रहा था. He was so beautiful boy कि कभी ऐसे बेटा मेरा हो जाए तो क्या जाता. One side is that, but seeing a character, isn't it? So in beginning he comes to the yajna, everyone is there, it's a big yajna, his daughter is also there, and looks at the characteristic of Baman Dev, says, कितना सुंदर छोटा बच्चा है, अगर इनको अपना बेटा बनाने का मौका मिल जाए तो फिर क्या. So she wanted to have Baman Dev as her son. Then the story went up, and what happens? The same boy, what did he do? Kicked her father and deprived him of a kingdom that he was ruling. and took him down to Sutal, which nobody knows what he did. The interaction between Bali Maharaj and Bamandev was very personal down there. Nobody from his family member knew about it. That's the reason he took. When the Lord wants to reciprocate with his devotees, he doesn't want to do it in the public. He will take in a special place. So then he says, now then she developed this hatredness because of his act and said, हाँ बच्चा तो बना लेती, but after giving him a birth, I would have smeared a poison in my breast and killed him. Then okay, हरे कृष्णा माता, कोई बात नहीं, आप हो जाना, एक माता की तरह आपसे व्यवहार करूंगा और आपका दूध भी पीऊंगा और दूध के ऊपर विष भी लगेगा, परंतु एक बात नहीं होगा, क्या? मार नहीं सकते. ये मरने का जब बात आता है, if there is a, if it is a question of you dying or Krishna dying, then who dies? You die. So that is not right. So killing part you won't be able to do it, but everything else okay, no problem. So then she becomes Putana here. So you have to understand, in essence, it's very beautifully dealt in the scriptures. So Maharaj or Supreme Lord Krishna, his body did not go. He actually left one body, the replica of so-called the body, into the alternate planet, and he went in a Pushpak Viman. That's the Srimad Bhagavatam says. And Lord Ram, he entered into Sarayu and never came back again. He just entered through right there. But now Rishabdev, the Srimad Bhagavatam says, the Lord is full of Yogagni. We call one of the name of the Lord is Yogagni, one who has the fire of yoga within him. So for him to create a fire of yoga and enter into the fire, which is fire is Lord himself. It is not a death for him, but rather it's a way of this manifesting. In our case, either we exist or we don't exist in this material body, isn't it? But for the Lord, it is either manifestation or non-manifestation. So do you understand what is the difference between existence and non-existence? Existence means we don't really have anything except for the soul. Soul comes to an existence or looks like it is existing when it accepts another body. But for Lord, it is simply a manifestation and non-manifestation. Just like right now I have a hand, the hand folds up and becomes the fist, and the fist opens up and loses the existence of the fist and becomes the palm. So that is the change of the Lord, the scriptures explain. So this is what happened to Rishabdev. So do you understand this topic a little bit now? So this is what happened to Rishabdev. After he left, he coordinated his son with Bharat Maharaj. So up to the time Maharaj Rishabdev was ruling, what was the name of that kingdom? Now Bharatvarsh becomes after who? Maharaj Bharat. So what was it before that? Ajanavvarsh. Ajanavvarsh. Varsha, Ajanav, the unknown yet. Or no one has created history of this tract of land. So it was Ajanavvarsh. So this Ajanavvarsh was given to Maharaj Bharat. And he ruled. The Shastras explained, Bharat did everything that was required for a Grihastha king to do. Although Maharaj Bharat was an excellent devotee, he was unalloyed devotee of the Lord, he performed the Ashwamedha Yajnas. He performed Ahuti Yajnas. Everything was done. Now the Sri Shukadev Goswami says, being a perfect unalloyed devotee of the Lord, that was his not hobby. Like something is your hobby or something that you really want to do. Other thing you simply do out of responsibility. Just like something is your life and something is your responsibility. Just like, I'm sure a lot of the devotees, when you go to the office, when you have to speak a language of a materialistic man which is hungry for money, sometimes you think, kya bol raha hu? I wish I could speak Bhagavad Sloka at this point, or I wish I can chant one Sloka at this point. That's my hobby. But this is a burden of responsibility, that I have to speak this language in order to get something done. So, this is what it is. The hobby of Maharaj Bharat was an unalloyed devotion unto the Supreme Lord and chanting His holy name and worshipping the deities of the Lord. That was the hobby for him. Or that was his nature of perfection. that he wanted to have a relationship with the Lord not based in a karma kanda, but based in unalloyed devotees. Just like sometime, you may take children to the sports club, isn't it? So, thinking Monday इतना पैसा खर्च कर रहा हूँ इसमें जाने के लिए, सब क्या जरूरत है, sometimes too much, but ऐसे burden of responsibility यही होता है ना कि basically when the child has to go for the toilet, although you are very close to your flight, you have to board the flight, then the boy goes, "Mummy, pee pee." So despite of you being late for the flight, then you have to go with the child to the toilet. Although you don't want to do that at this point. But because of this close relationship with the child, that you can't leave the child, you are having to do things that are not your hobbies, but it has to be done. That's what the Shastras say. So that's what Maharaj Bharat is doing here. So he was doing everything. So ultimately, as he ruled the kingdom, he perfectly ruled, and everyone were the devotees of the Lord. At that point, everyone were surrendered unto Krishna. But he was basically doing the ritualistic ceremonies, such as the Shastras say, he was doing a Gomedh Yajna. He was doing Ashwamedh Yajna. The purpose of that, the Shastras say, is that in order to know the power of certain mantras, in order to know the power, just like a doctors, in order to know or have a practice of their medication, they actually maybe do into the dead body of some animals also sometimes. Or if they want to try out, a kidney replacement, maybe they have to take a kidney from somebody or some other entity that is already dead and try to check into this one. So sometimes the result of the scriptures have to be tested also. How powerful are they? Is the Brahman chanting the mantra properly? So therefore, let's do a Ashwamedh Yajna or sacrifice, because this was for repurification. So how by certain types of yajna and corrupted personality can be completely purified and turned into a perfect devotee of the Lord. That is done through the life of an animal. You take a Ashwa and you do a Ashwamedh Yajna, and Ashwa turns into a perfect learned Brahman. So if this works out, then yes, the Brahmanas can go with the Yajna in a higher level now. If not, then they have to polish more or get trained up more. So this was the procedure that was used. So after everything, as Maharaj Bharat ruled the kingdom, he began to feel that this family life is entangling me more and more. Instead of being more attracted to Krishna, I am being more attracted to my religious duties, which are to some level not connected to devotional service, or it could actually be done by somebody else. Just like you don't mind buying things for your children when they are like 15, 16. जब 25-30 साल का होने के बाद भी वो अपना नौकरी नहीं करता और पापा से मांगते रहता है, then you start thinking कि नहीं, he has to have his own life now. I can't do it, he has to do it. So then you stop buying things for him. Or sometimes if it is a hard lesson, you might say, okay, for 5 days you may not eat, but you have to learn how to find your own job. Isn't it so? So when you are grown up, you intend to give up more responsibility. So the responsibility, as I say, the burden of responsibility has to have some type of limit. अब अपने बच्चे को डायरेक्ट बच्चे को 15-16 साल तक पढ़ा दिया, सब कुछ किया, 25 साल का हो गया, शादी कर लिया, हो गया, ये मेरे काल के लिए अब हो गया, ठीक है ना? अब बस इनका काल बिताने, तो मुझे अब थोड़ा भगवान की भक्ति में सीरियस होना है. I want to just directly engage myself in devotional service and try to detach myself. And if you don't make an idea of detaching yourself, you will never be detached. कभी detachment आएगी? Will the detachment ever come? It will be one after another. So therefore he said, no, my children, my sons are well qualified now. Okay. Now they have to look into the kingdom. Maybe for some time as they are under training, they might not do an excellent job as myself. कि कभी-कभी जैसे इंडिया में होता है ना कि जब कोई पिता दुकान रखता है, you particularly see in the shop, तो पिता, the father starts the shop. Then after staying in a shop, he calls his beta and says, स्कूल से आ गए? हाँ. कितना साल का बेटा है? 13 साल का बेटा है। स्कूल से हो गया? बोला हाँ तुम दुकान में आ जाओ यहाँ। So then he puts the son into the shop and he goes out somewhere else. Isn't it? He might not do a perfect job as father himself who has a lot of experience. But the point is training has to be done. So he leaves him in the shop and he goes. So in the same way the Shastra said this is same thing. The life is temporary. The entire goal of life is to attain the Supreme Lord. And that has to be done before we depart from this world. Now we have to make a time frame. Okay. So Maharaj Bharat, when he felt that my children are okay now and they can rule the kingdom, so he put his children and he told his wife, okay, अब बच्चे भी 25-26 साल के हो गए, तुमको जंगल में आने का जरूरत नहीं है. I will go to the forest, I will attain the Supreme Lord. Now whatever result the husband does and whatever result he gets, have he begotten by the wife, no problem. This is the words of the Shastras. That whatever result the husband does, have